Hi, we're at Eurocine Expo 2025 in Munich. I'm joined by Emma Boswell from Helicopter Girls. Now, we spoke a very long time ago at BSC Expo when you just started in this arena. And a lot has happened in, aerial photography, drone photography, everything since. So can you give me a quick recap of what's happened the last 8 years? Go.
That's a really kind question, thank you. Oh, Lord. A lot has happened in the last 8 years. Well, I could start by saying we're on drone number 46.
Right.
That's quite a lot. We just added.
You crashed 45 drones.
No, we just fly a lot of different
Oh, sorry.
ones. We've got this year, newest addition to our fleet is a rainproof drone. So in all that 8-year period that we've been talking about, we haven't really been able to fly in the rain.
Yeah.
That's been a thing with drones. Obviously, we're very weather dependent, and it's a legal thing as well. It's an insurance thing too. So you could fly your drone in the rain, but it would, something might happen, safety, So we have our team. We've got a pretty large team now. We put out sort of 3-4 units a day if the work is there, which sometimes there is. And so in discussions with the team, we're sort of always evolving. Our focus has been very much innovation and R&D. Kat, my co-founder, who was, right back then at the forefront of any sort of innovation in drone work, has continued to be that way. So we're always looking at what else can we do, how else can we help tell stories, what else, can we be part of the narrative at least, can we do more than just the sort of, high-wise and lovely exteriors and things and be establishers. So the latest, aside from FPV, which is a whole other territory that we can talk about, we have invested in a drone which is it's made by Ace Core Technologies. We call it the Hydra. It's a waterproof drone. One of their clients is the Dutch Navy. They manufactured it for them, and so we've kind of repurposed it and made it work for us for cinematography. And that's just started its work. Actually, we've had it for about a month and a half. We've kind of kitted the whole thing out so that we can be out there with rain spinners and bespoke bags and all sorts. So we can now not only fly in the rain if it's raining, but we could fly in practical rain effects. So cinematographers are quite excited about the idea of creating something that they haven't been able to create before. So that's cool.
Yeah. So the drone. Well, the innovation around drone cinematography, it brings in, it's not just cinematography, it's grip, isn't it? Because it's. I talked to Tim Palmer, DP, who did Last Kingdom, and he was talking that they could use a drone flying alongside horses galloping, where he would have used a Russian armored vehicle, the whole sort of thing. And he said it was fantastic because I got something I didn't think I'd be able to get, and you just see if you're a slightly critical eye, when you look at any production, you think, wow, they're doing different stuff there, aren't they? So how much of that is cinematographers coming to you, or you going to them saying, you know what, we could...
I think it's fair to say that it's both, because we talk and listen to our market. So I do talk to cinematographers about what might they need, and it only takes a nugget of something for us to go, okay, let's try and make this work. We were literally just talking with you were just talking to Amy, our water specialist, about let's try and innovate together a shot that goes from underwater into the air. Let's see if we can do it. So we are driven by a sort of thirst for innovation in our team, and have lots of different skill sets within our team. But we do have really close conversations, and I think part of what I like to be anyway is kind of relational and just understand what could we do and how could we use our toolkit, because there is so much to what we could do, and it is a camera that they've got to pay money for and be there for the day, and maybe there's something else we can do with it. So we in answer to what you were talking about, we worked with Ben Smithard, BSc, on Downton Abbey, the final chapter, I think it's
Yes,
And And he was chatting to me at BSC Expo a couple of years ago, not the one just gone, and he said, we've got this sequence, and I was showing him our FPV drones, and Downton Abbey wouldn't be a sort of project we would typically put our FPV drones forward for, because you imagine, the sort of hybrid FPVs, you've got a gimbal underneath a speed drone. It doesn't have to be flown in that style. It's kind of about accuracy, and so there's a racehorse sequence in which they shot at Ripon. And it was with real racehorses, and it was a week before a race, and so there was only a couple of runs that they could do with those racehorses, because they had to be careful of the ground, they had to be careful of all sorts. So we were a really critical camera for him, and he didn't want just the high wides, which we got with the kind of the usual heavy lift drone that we flew. I think we fly a Sony Venice for Downton, but we also got these I think incredible, really exciting shots, which I keep looking at on my. I have them on my phone because I'm bewildered that we've got this because we have this hybrid drone, which is it's a stabilized head underneath an FPV drone, and it's carrying a Movi gimbal and carrying a red Raptor with a 100mm lens, and we could actually even carry 130mm, but we just needed the 100mm lens for this shot. And you feel like you're right inside, and the shots last for a good long period, and it's beautiful, and you can see you can see the horse's muscles. You feel right inside in that kind of immersive way that you would expect from a wire cam or from a tracking vehicle, but it physically wasn't possible. And I think now cinematographers are realizing that drones can be used for much more, and they can save them time, they can save them money. Creatively, I think the FPV drone, the hybrid FPV drones. So this is the drone which has a gimbal underneath or top mounted on a speed a drone which has been designed for speed and is flown in the goggles. So first person view is essentially the pilot is flying as if they're on board the aircraft. So they can move around things. They can we shot a sequence for Wicked where we're essentially, I think it's in the trailer that's out now for the Wicked for Good. It's the Luke Bannister, our FPV pilot, who is extraordinary, he's flying a red Raptor with a decent cinematic lens. I think we were flying Voigtlander lenses on a very small form racing drone on a gimbal through at extraordinary speed through woodland. We are the broomstick flying through in a sort of broomstick chase sequence, and it's extraordinary. And there's no other tool that will ever that can possibly do that. So creatively, they also opens up incredible possibility, and I think that's been really exciting. That's I would say that in the last 8 years since I've seen you, the beginning was really exciting because we were new.
Yes.
It was a new language, and people were sort of excited. Then it kind of got overused, or you just saw these drone shots a lot, and you knew what was a drone.
That was it. Yours, that overhead view is always
And DPs needed. I think studios and DPs needed time to just kind of bed in and play with the technology and see really what it could do for them, and maybe find something more interesting that it could do for them. And so now that's where we are, and so it's really it's very, very exciting. We've just gone off Supergirl, and we did Matthew Vaughan's Stunt Nuts, which is yet to come out, and the work that they were able to do with the FPV drones, just the accuracy that you can fly and the speed. It's another level. It's a really exciting time, I think.
What got you into this in the first place? What was the little spark that set you down this path?
I think, to be honest, what got me in was my business partner Kat, whose kind of thirst for sort of innovation. Once she knew so much about drones, and this was way back in 2011 or something. That's what kind of ignited the interest. I mean, I'm from a documentary. I come from that kind of factual production background. but I think what keeps us there and what's made us grow the company, and now we are the largest outfit in the UK in terms of drone cinematography. What keeps us there is that kind of desire to innovate and desire to play with technology and just be bold and keep reinvesting and the enjoyment of seeing what is possible.
And is it an industry you can innovate quite quickly?
We can, because the technology is, 3D printers.
Yes.
It's we can manufacture in house quite quickly. We can CAD design something, cut carbon. We sort of have set up a kind of a sort of workshop to be able to do it. And then we're innovating we work with VFX a lot, so we're innovating. We have a drone motion control tool which we are still continuing to develop, but which we came up with for Paddington in Peru, which means that you can shoot an A side, let's say in Colombia, and then shoot the B side on the back lot in the UK. Move the whole sort of geography of the GPS and everything, and then replay that back with your actors in a different place, somewhere where it's easy to get your actors to. So that's technology which we kind of did a proof of concept for Paddington with Eric Wilson, and which we're continuing to progress and funding now, so that we can try and get it to the next stage and roll it out. But that's what keeps us interested, I think.
It's fantastic. I mean, every day there's a fresh challenge or fresh idea.
There's loads of those. I mean, for sure. Handoffs, we did Adolescence, which was how do you get Matt Lewis's kind of ecosystem of the Ronin 4D, which is not meant to go on a drone. How do you get that kind of seamlessly into the air and then land it again? It's windy, it's difficult, it's the logistics of it, the kind of the technology of it, all of that. It keeps us.
And it's good because it's matured quite quickly, hasn't it? It's gone from being something new, what do we do with it, to being a real solid part of the arsenal people you can use to shoot.
You're so right. It's very much I don't think there are many productions, and unless it's just clearly there's no requirement for it. There's not really a production that doesn't have drone work in it, and I think you see cinematographers who know once we work with them once and they understand what capabilities we might be able to deliver, they come to us quite early now, talk to us about what the shots that they want, or the lighting effects that they might want, get us involved at quite an early stage, talk to our pilots, talk to our R&D teams, and then that leads to creative fun.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks for spending time to talk to us. We won't leave it 8 years to talk to you again, but who knows where we'll be at that time, I don't know. But thanks for spending time, Emma. It's great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.